Hey Kali Warriors, welcome back to the Kali Center YouTube channel. I'm Tom, head coach here at Kali Center. Today we're looking at a quick single stick form that goes through the vertical cuts and also starts to work some parries. Then we're going to transition this into the flow. Grab a single stick or a training sword if you have it, and let's get training. First piece of the form, we're covering the vertical cuts. We have two types of vertical cuts. We have the large circle and we have the small circle. Both have their place, which is why they start the form and they end the form on the vertical cut. So the first part of it is going to be the small circle where we're going to be punching this and cutting through the center. So all I want you to do is establish some type of guard, whether you're at the hip, I'm going to be right out in front, and we're going to cut, pulling the elbow back. Really simple. This one is really powerful. It's a short cut, and we're going right through the center. Second cut that we have is the large circle where we're going to allow the vertical to carry over. So on the small circle, it stays in front of the body, and on the large circle, it goes through the center, and then we carry this over, breaking the wrist over at 90. And then we can combine these together to start to get familiar with these two cuts. We have small circle. Let's do that a few times. And then we can circle this into the large circle, and then we can alternate. Just simply getting used to these two motions, either staying in the center with this short cut on the small circle, or carrying this over on the large circle. All right, let's see how we're going to bring that into the rest of the form. All right, let's take the vertical cuts and bring them into the entire form, adding the parries and then our other ascending strikes. So from here, we have the small circle first on the vertical. We cut this forward. Now we immediately go into parry 1 and parry 2. From here we drop this to the left hip, which is right at guard 4. We cut the 4 into a reverse angle 2, and then we're going to go large circle on the forehand vertical to finish that out, carrying it right back into small circle. Into the parry, there's the 4 to reverse 2, split that down the center on the forehand vertical. We go nice and slow. That way we can learn this and see the transition from that small circle into the large circle, transitioning this out. Good. Some pointers here, especially on the parries. We've already isolated the vertical, so on the parries, we want to make sure that we're not windshield wipering the parries where they're going off to the side, where this space is open. We want to make sure that space is closed in the center. That way everything's closed and the thrust is being presented forward. So when you apply that, when you transition from the small circle on the vertical, don't try to push the parry off to the side because you're leaving yourself exposed either on one parry or on two parry. This whole space is open. So we have to close that, which is why we're using a small circle into the parries, and then we use the large cuts to follow that up. Another thing to transition on the guard 4 is make sure we're dropping that right below the hip, right where you would draw a sword out. That way you're getting the coverage on that low strike. We don't want to be super high with the elbow here, where if we throw this to the elbow line, our knee is not protected. So those ascending strikes, they cover the knee and they go all the way above to the top of the head. So look at that again one more time. From here we've got the vertical cut. 1, 2, 3 is the parry. 4 is that 4 cut. 5 is the reverse 2. And then 6, we carry that over, large circle on the vertical, right back into the small circle that we were transitioning this out, back into guard. Check it out, so we've isolated the form, we've worked the small circle and the large circle on the vertical. Now what do we do with this? We can rep the form out into all 6 strikes, all 6 cuts and parries, and isolate that and do really well with developing our Kali flow. What we can also do is break apart the form into small pieces. We might just stay on the 4 reverse 2 and make our way back around with the 1, just so we're isolating those 2 lines over and over again, getting familiar with them and seeing how we want to get creative within our Filipino martial arts training. Let's take a look at a few clips that you can use as a guide for your training of how to take this form, break it apart, and throw it into your flow. Hey Kali Warriors, I hope that helps you expand your carenza and your free flow within your Filipino martial arts training. We've broken apart the form, we've isolated pieces of it, and then we want to bring that into our flow. Remember, no one can flow like you. So when you're flowing through your FMA, through your carenza, through your solo training, remember to put your spirit into it, train hard, and also make sure that you're having fun. Again, I'm Tom, head coach here at Kali Center. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up. Sign up to the Kali Center online school if you want more in-depth training through us through Kali Center. The link for that is in the description below this video, and I'll see you in the next one.